new lies, exposed new evidence that Reggie Wright Jr. was complicit in the death of 2Pac Shakur.
Is it true that
in that entourage?
was it true that Pac sent the fax that fired right way like the month before?
Not before. It was fired about 7 days before, on the 27th of August. Myself and David Kenner.
I can't say that I got it or didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't know about it. Because I sure would. I'm the type of nigga to be like, fuck that nigga.
Your boy DELRAY, straight game. He's telling on himself. Let's get into some of this straight game.
Life is like cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY, Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. I thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Also subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And like I always say, if you want to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game, please do me a favor and click on what appears to be that little bell notification right below this video. I'm going to get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, I finally have come to the conclusion, not based on a bunch of hearsay and based on what other people say in other YouTube videos, that Reggie Wright Jr. is complicit in the death of 2Pac Shakur. And Reggie Wright Jr. actually intentionally pulled the security off of 2Pac in Las Vegas that night, allowing what happened to 2Pac to actually take place. And I'm going to give you not what I'm saying, but his own statements and how he has changed the story once the evidence and the proof had come out that he was actually fired by 2Pac as his personal security. I'm going to get into it like this. Check this out. So there was a video that I did a few months back. And when I did this video, Reggie Wright Jr. and Gullible John over at Bomb First, they actually copyright claimed my channel, right? For something that was would be considered fair use under the copyright law, right? You know, I'm criticizing basically the statements that he was saying. But the important part is this: the reason why they did that, because they did not want you to get the truth involving the actual statements that Reggie had made in regards to the 2Pac situation and what Suge had ultimately said. You see now that Suge is speaking out. Reggie now has gone on this tangent about Suge. One week he's his friend, the next week he's, you know, talking bad about him. You know, he's straddling the fence, trying not to hit the divider of the fence, if you will. And I'm gonna give it to you like this. So now, when I first came out with the fact that 2Pac had fired Reggie on August 27th, 1996, Reggie had denied it. He denied that he even got the letter. Listen.
I can't say that I got it or didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't know about it. Because I sure would. I'm the type of nigga to be like, fuck that nigga.
Right? So now, he denied that. But the ultimate thing was he tried to create this theory, this fictitious story about another letter coming in and around the draft party of Keyshawn Johnson, if you will, right? Okay, now, I want you to understand there was no letter sent in June during the Keyshawn Johnson draft party. No letter whatsoever, period, point blank, right? And what you have to understand is when Suge says that he had asked Reggie to send 5 more security guards, Suge was actually talking about in Vegas. And when Reggie said that Suge asked him, where's Pac security, right? Suge was actually talking about in Vegas. But Reggie tried to make it appear as if Suge was talking about at this Keyshawn Johnson birthday party. You understand? I want you to pay attention, man. Listen to me. Reggie tried to make it seem as if when Suge asked that question, that it was at Keyshawn Johnson's birthday party and somehow some letter had came in June. There was no letter in June. And what Reggie was trying to mix up or get the public to believe prior to the letter coming out, remember, he had denied being fired altogether until that fax was released.
I can't say that I got it or didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't know about it. Because I sure would. I'm the type of nigga to be like, fuck that nigga.
Is it true
in that entourage?
was it true that Pac sent the fax that fired right way like the month before?
Not before. It was fired by 7 days before, on the 27th of August. Myself and David Kenner.
This is what he's saying now. This is a few days ago on a young lady's YouTube channel. And now he's copping to the fact that the letter came on the 27th, but is now trying to say that after it came, somehow, some way, that him and 2Pac, it was squash. He said that 2Pac was mad at Suge and so on and so forth. So that's why he fired Reggie as his security. That's a lie. Because before, as you've seen, he had been denying that it even happened. He didn't even get the letter. Now, all of a sudden, he's agreeing the letter came on the 27th. He's also sure of it, that it came on the 27th. Do you think it was because we released the letter or because he got the letter and hoping that no one else released the letter? Remember, Frank said he saw it. The guy at the security office said, Frank said that the guy at the security office showed it to him. You mean to tell me he showed it to Frank but didn't show it to the guy who was his actual boss? But the most devastating part is the fact that Reggie tried to push that out to June. He did not want anybody to know that it was that close to 2Pac's death, that 2Pac had fired him. And then after that, you could link the two together and saying 2Pac firing Reggie on October 27th, Reggie pulling the security off of 2Pac in Vegas because he was fired as his personal security on the 27th of 1996, and then thereafter pulling the security off of 2Pac intentionally in Las Vegas, right? On September 7th, 1996, Frank said that. Michael Moore said that. Suge said he told Reggie to send 5 more security guards, and Reggie sent nobody. That's when Suge was asking Reggie, where's the security for Pac? It wasn't at the House of Blues at all. It was in Las Vegas. You see? So he tried to lie and push that out to June because he didn't want people to put together and add up the days that it was shortly after that 2Pac fired him, that he pulled the security off, intentionally pulled the security off of 2Pac in Las Vegas. And then Reggie would attempt to then try to shift the blame to Frank Alexander, right? Saying that Frank didn't tell him something, right? Which is another blatant lie. Let me tell you why. Remember, Frank was the only one with 2Pac walking through the MGM Grand, and the reason why that was so, because 2Pac told Frank that Frank was going with him when he was going to leave Death Row. Point blank, period. We also know that Reggie tried to blame Frank and said Frank didn't do enough. Oh, Frank did enough. Frank was the one that pulled 2Pac off of Orlando Anderson. And you can clearly see that in the video. You understand what I'm saying? So now, the person that should have been getting credit was Frank Alexander. But the person that Reggie was trying to discredit was Frank Alexander because Reggie didn't like Frank. He speaks ill of Frank even after his death, right? When Frank was the only one there, and the reason why Frank was the only one there is because 2Pac trusted Frank and he did not trust anybody else involved with that situation. He wanted Michael Moore there, right? And that was something that was confirmed also. But Reggie told Michael Moore because Michael Moore was the only person that had a gun, right? that could protect Tupac from that perspective, he told Michael Moore to come down to Club 662. And Michael Moore said that he adamantly fought against that, but decided to go, you know, not wanting to lose his job. He went down to Club 662. You understand? Reggie is now saying that he got the letter and he understood the letter to be delivered on the 27th of August, approximately 13 days before Tupac was shot. Right? I am convinced that Reggie Wright Jr. intentionally pulled the security off of Tupac so that something could happen to Tupac that night. I don't know what it was from the perspective of, because you can't link all of everything and what that was at that particular time, right? But like I said, once again, for the negligence, for the insubordination, and being the security for Tupac and being hired by Death Row, Reggie Wright Jr. is complicit in Tupac's death. And this new information, this new interview, it only compounds what I thought already, but now he's trying to say, oh, it came on the 27th and not in June like he lied about before, because like I said, he didn't want you to be able to put together, right, the timeline. August 27th, Tupac shot what? September 7th. He was mad. He was in a vindictive move. And he said it in the other video, fuck Tupac. Right? He didn't care. You seen that he had called Suge Knight. He even called Suge Knight a snitch. Then he double backed on that. Oh, me and Suge have our problems. Reggie Wright Jr. was complicit in the death of Tupac Shakur through negligence, through insubordination, and flat out just being a vindictive individual. And now, all of a sudden, he's claiming that he got the letter on the 27th. He's claiming that he knows everything about it. Now, he's saying that he was fired. I got the letter, I was fired. But we squashed it. No, you didn't. Tupac didn't want you as a security, and that was it, period. The fact said so. And if there was anything else other than that, show us the letter that reinstated Right Way Security Services as Tupac's personal security again after that. They still work for Death Row. That's why Suge was saying, yo, when I told him to send 5 security guards, he should have sent them, but he didn't send them. But with this new video right here, yeah. You know, and that karma come thick, man. It come thick, man. You know, a lot of people say they don't believe in that, right? But what you believe in and what happens in the universe has nothing to do with what you believe. So I just wanted to bring you this video because it's very important that everybody knows this. Reggie Wright Jr. has been walking around telling these Tupac lies, all of these stories. When I come and I brung it to you, like I said, he had been denying it. Even after the letter had came out, he still was denying it. He was hoping that somebody could come and offer some kind of explanation for him. It simply is not so. Tupac fired him, and he pulled the security off of Tupac that night. That's why Frank was the only one with him. Now, all of a sudden, he's saying that it was 20 other guys, 20 guys on Tupac that night. He's saying the guys from the gang or whatever, that's what he said. The guys from the gang, it's 20 other guys that I trusted with him that night.
There were 20 guys with Tupac that night. 20. Guys that I trust more than Right Way security guys. That was street niggas, game bangers, and all of them.
Is it true that
that entourage?
Was it true that Pac sent the fax that fired Right Way like the month before?
Not before. It was fired by 7 days before, on the 27th of August. Myself and David Kenner.
I can't say that I got it or didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't know about it. Because I sure would. I'm the type of nigga to be like, fuck that nigga.
Are you kidding me? Once again, he can't accept responsibility. He can't accept the accountability for his actions. Y'all not paying attention. Now he's putting it off on the homies now. It's off on the homies now? It's their fault now? No. The only person fault is Reggie Wright Jr. He failed Suge. He failed 2Pac. His security company was a failure from day one. He didn't have the proper protocol in place. None of those things. You got to understand what I'm trying to tell you right now. Listen. He's now saying that it was the homies' fault, not his, not the people that he was paying to be on the payroll of Right Way Security. Mine is Frank Alexander, who was the person that was there.
There were 20 guys with 2Pac that night. 20. Guys that I trust more than Right Way Security guys. That was street niggas, game bangers, and all of them.
Is it true that
in that entourage?
Was it true that Pac sent the facts that fired Right Way like the month before?
Not before. It was fired about 7 days before, on the 27th of August. Myself and David Kenner.
Right? Wow. Amazing. Amazing. The story just keeps, the lies just keep shifting, and the story just keeps shifting. And then to top that off, you know, recently, Reggie Wright Jr. came out and said, you know, oh, I'm not going to be mad if Keefe D go free. When just a few months ago, he was touting, you know, for Keefe D's arrest. And talking all kinds of craziness involving that situation. But you know what? What we're not paying attention to, and what's kind of slipped under the radar, is the fact that Reggie was one of the first people to testify for the grand jury in regards to Keefe D. And what came out, it was that Reggie Wright Jr. had been lying all along about the Nextel radios. He said they didn't have a walkie-talkie feature on them, but went in front of the grand jury and admitted that they did. It's lie after lie after lie after lie to cover up lie after lie. You understand what I'm saying? So when you see Reggie Wright Jr. and you look at him on camera, know that you can't believe not a word that comes out of his mouth. Like I said, I've showed you on numerous occasions where he's lied. And I understand sometimes the lie is more entertaining than the truth. But the truth runs marathons. Lies just run a few sprints. And then the truth creeps in and says, oh, yeah, you pulled security off of 2Pac that night deliberately because you were fired on the 27th, which now you're admitting that the letter came on the 27th when Reggie was denying the whole thing before. Oh, it was in June. It was a letter I got in June. Show us the letter from June. I bet you can't, because there was no letter in June. And when he says that, oh, you know, Suge Knight said, you know, Reg, where's Pac security? He was asking them that in Vegas. Reggie tried to change the story. Pay attention. It was in Vegas that Suge asked him that. So Suge is telling the truth. You get it? And then we have happened what happened. Even Frank said after the situation that happened, remember, Frank said that they went back to Suge house, right? And Suge was mad at Frank. You know, Frank, what happened? You know, you ain't have your gun, da-da-da-da. And then that's when it came out about the situation involving Reggie. And Frank said that Suge looked at Reggie and said, Reg, what's up? And Reggie said that, oh, I wasn't the, such and somebody else was the supervisor that night. But Reggie was in Vegas down at Club 662. And Reggie lied about who rode to the hospital with him. Michael Moore said he rode to the hospital with Reggie. Reggie never mentioned that. You know why? Because that would place Michael Moore in the vicinity with Reggie Wright Jr. as they were getting into the car when Michael Moore said that he heard the words Got him. Don't say nothing else over the radio. You understand that? That's why Reggie never admitted that Michael Moore rode to the hospital with him when they were going to the hospital to see about Suge and see about 2Pac being shot. He never mentioned Michael Moore, but Michael Moore said it. You get it? If he puts Michael Moore next to him or riding in the car, right, when they're going to the hospital, if he admits that, which is true because Michael Moore said it, he didn't have no reason to lie. If he admits that, then that puts Michael Moore in his vicinity to hear, got him. Amazing. Y'all might not have been able to put it together, but I put it together now. I understand it now. Reggie Wright Jr. is complicit in the death through negligence and insubordination and many other things. Reggie Wright Jr. is complicit in the death of 2Pac Shakur. Without a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. Your boy DELRAY, straight game.